This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports Chaco. We're here at Evolution Boxing Club. Don't know, many interviews we've done now. The last one we've had to cancel, obviously. I guess, I'm happy enough to cancel interviews when they're needed, but it's a year, probably the year nearly sort of having to forget. Obviously, I know we spoke of this last time and it's hard to replicate it, but obviously your first disappointment of the year, obviously Wembley. I know when we spoke the last time, you were sort of close and going, as I said, am I going to fight again? Talk me through, obviously, what happened. Well, obviously, I don't want to speak too much on Wembley. Don't want to speak too much negatively on it, but Wembley pretty much nearly broke your back.
Yeah, it was just a bit of a shit show. We spent we started off, the fight was meant to be a month prior to that. So I was training for 2 months. And then that one was called off. So they said, right, was put back to Wembley. That was Wembley. And then I kept training. I stayed down here for 3 months, 3.5 months, whatever. And just unfortunate. Your guy couldn't get a visa, but I was there on weight, ready, and it was just a bit of bad. It was just a shit show, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to put the negatives behind me and stay positive. So, I mean, that's the way it goes. Boxing's a funny hard game, do you know what I mean? It's just how it is.
I guess if there was any more sort of bad luck, it's sort of bad luck that seems to follow you about, a lot of your career. Obviously, I remember one of the Woodstock fights falling through pretty much last minute when he got COVID and things like that as well.
Yeah. But I got COVID, that's right. The weigh-in?
Yeah,
the day before the weigh-in. And then I woke up weigh-in day, was it?
I think it was the night before.
Night before. I was on weight and they told me that he got COVID and they were looking for replacements and I never got it. I do have a lot of bad luck in boxing. It's actually hilarious, but it's like, this is like an opportunity now and I can't, and I'm taking all the negatives out and I'm remaining positive where, everything's going well now, so that's it.
Obviously, the second announcement that never came, which obviously we prepared for and everything else, but you were supposed to be fighting on Jake Paul, Tommy Fury in Madison Square Garden.
Right.
And obviously Tommy Fury couldn't get into America. Did it hurt any more the second time around? Obviously after Wembley, I guess, 95,000 in Wembley, then a dream movie to fight in Madison Square Garden. Did that make things any worse, or were you just were you able to laugh it off? Because I guess it was so close.
No, I wouldn't say laugh it off. It's, it's easy saying that now on camera and all, but it's caused a lot of stress in my life, family life and whatever else. But I mean, this is just the way it goes. It's, what can I say? I'm not going to cry about it. All I want to do now is fuck this fella up, get in and do the job and see how it goes. I know I'm going in here as an underdog. I'm older now. I'm touching 34.
You don't look it.
No, I'm still fresh. But it's like he's younger, coming up, unbeaten. He's on a string of like 9 KOs. So I would say I'm a big underdog, but I'm ready to go here. I'm ready to smash this guy up.
You obviously have Sean McComb. Do you obviously thank for a lot of this?
Yeah. Sean's the main man, by the way. So without Sean McComb, this fight wasn't happening. This was just the guy, Lou DiBella on Twitter was writing blah blah Magnesi this, Magnesi that, and Sean wrote under, I'm sure Anto will have a scalp on him. I replied, absolutely, when and where, and it's here. Well, it was in Madison Square Gardens and that was shit. Now it's here and it's in England and the contracts are signed, so I'm not getting away from this one.
You've obviously had the extra time to prepare, obviously, with the Madison Square Garden. I guess you always look at it from a negative and look into a positive. You've had extra time to prepare for the fight this time around. You seem different this time in camp. Obviously, I've been around a few of your camps now. Is it this IBO title that's obviously given you that sort of new lease of life? Ian's obviously saying you're hitting harder, you're training harder. What's reinvigorated? Is it just the frustration of obviously cancelled fights? I mean, you're coming up now a year since you last defended your British title. What's changed for this time around? Is it just the fact that so much frustration is leading to it, or it's just finally the opportunities come that you've always wanted?
I always put in the work whenever I'm in camp, always. You know what I mean? It's people, I seem to have a bad name for like not training, but that's bullshit. You know what I mean? I come from all a couple of stragglers up in Belfast who just don't like to see people do well. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows who they are. It's like I feel like this is coming to my last opportunity here. This is it. So why not empty the tank? You know what I mean? I've actually made the move. I'm down here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here for the next 5 weeks. It's like I'm just ready. I feel like I know I need to do this for myself. You know, it's a long time coming. It's a payday. It's an opportunity. It's everything to me right now.
Magnesi, obviously on social media, I'm not sure obviously how much you've seen of it, but obviously he wanted to claim his next victim. He reckons he's going to knock you out. Obviously you've Italian roots. He's fully Italian. You're sort of Irish Italian. How much do you sort of feed into? Does that fuel the fire that obviously he thinks he's going to knock you out? Do you think he's probably underestimating obviously the talents of you have? I guess that's always been everybody's weakness, is to underestimate Anto Cacace.
He can say what he wants, can't they? Like, he's been knocking out a load of bums. This is where he steps up and he doesn't realise he's stepping up, but he is. And listen, anything can happen in boxing. You could get lucky. I could get lucky. But when it comes down to styles and it comes down to attributes, I'm more talented than he is, even at my age. You know, all he knows is come forward. I can come forward. I can go backwards. You know, I'm taller than him. I feel like I hit harder than him. I haven't got the KO ratio that he has. You know, he's on a wee, I think it's a 9 KO streak. So, do you know what I mean? He's getting fights and getting looked after. I wasn't. Do you know what I mean? I was barely getting any fights and not making much money at the end of it. So, I mean, I'm just proud of myself that I'm around at this stage now, because there's been times where I've thrown the head up and, you know, depressed and down on myself, you know, fighting with fighting in the house and whatever else. It's like, I'm just happy I'm here now. Do you know what I mean?
Does that sort of show the testament of the person you are, the sort of never give up attitude? You know, I know over the last 5 years you've had a lot of inactivity. You've obviously made very little out of boxing. Does it show? Sometimes when they say certain people's got certain attributes to boxing and everything else, does your heart probably show more the fact that even when you were down and people were kicking you and you weren't getting fights and everything else, but you're still here? Does that not just show the testament of the person you are?
I think so. I think so. I was never, you know, even though that I said, you know, frig is not happening. I'm out of this game. I'm going to go and do plastering or whatever. You know, I'm a plasterer by trade, or get in gardening, whatever. I always know in my heart of hearts that I can't walk away from this game. I just can't do it. It's like a soul addiction. Like, apart from addiction, there's a love. There's everything. It's like I want to get fucking knocked out. Excuse the language. You know what I mean? I want that. I want that fight. Do you know what I mean? So I've got it. I'm going to see how it goes.
Manchester Arena. Obviously, there's many famous memories there. Obviously, Frampton Quig, 20,000 people. Obviously, probably 99% of obviously fans are going to be there in support of you. Joyce Parker undercard, Amanda Serrano on the card. It looks like Frank's obviously.
It's a great bill.
It's looking like a really good bill.
Now, looking at it, like, over the last few days, I'm thinking it's the best bill that I've seen in a long time from Warren and them boys. So, yeah, I feel privileged to be on it. Getting the highest payday I've ever been paid in my life. Getting an opportunity. Manchester, big arena, you know, big card. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? Let's go. I'm buzzing.
Obviously, you signed a new management deal. You're obviously now managed by Simon Legg.
Yeah.
He obviously promised to deliver. I guess probably, I think as I'd said in the interview, we couldn't have a last time proofs in the pudding, but Simon's obviously been able to deliver for you. I guess in some ways, most of it was probably down to Sean McComb, but he's been able to dot the I's and cross the T's and get this fight sorted.
Yeah, listen, Simon's a lovely guy, but Sean McComb made this fight, you know what I mean? Simon's been looking after it in the background and looking after me and making sure everyone's all good and stuff, but I came to Simon with this opportunity, and I just have to thank him for helping me along the way and getting me the money he got me and everything else he got me. So he's a good guy. And I made the best thing I ever do was to leave Pat McGee.
24th of September, obviously, you'll be out of the ring, 13 months. How do you see the fight going? Would you like to make a prediction? Obviously, what do you think is going to happen in the fight?
Don't make predictions. I just want to win. Do you know what I mean? But again, told you, I was saying earlier, boxing's boxing. But I know I've got the skills, and I'm fit and getting fitter, getting stronger, and punching harder. Just gonna have to see what happens on the night. You know what I mean? I just don't do predictions. It's stupid, but we'll see.
Finally, I obviously want to leave a special mention for obviously sponsors. Obviously, over the last 5 years, it's been tough with getting Fight Purse and everything else. Obviously, I know you're very, very much a fan of your sponsors. Obviously, even when you haven't been having fights, have been there in the background. Is there any of them you want to think in particular? Sometimes we put you on the spot. You may leave someone out, so apologies if he makes any mistakes.
I need to get my t-shirt and have a look at my t-shirt. I'm when he's legging, I'd like to thank all my sponsors, you know what I mean? I've one main sponsor, and it's Cozy Roof, and since I fought for the British title, they've paid me every month and kept me afloat. I can honestly say without them, my training and my schedule would have been a lot different. There's Nico's, McKinty, Construction, McKinstry. There's 100 others, builders, Kieran Hawkins, builders, PK builders. There's so many. I just like to thank them all, because without them, I just couldn't be at this game.
Have you any more room for sponsors in the lead up to the fight? I guess when people see a big card, box office and everything else, probably maybe somebody's going to call from the woodwork and go, here's $100,000, I want my name in your shorts.
No, listen, because it's actually worked out a wee bit bad sponsors ways with this one, because I spent my money that they gave me in the last camp and the fight never happened. So I got lucky. Obviously I get my Cozy Roof, they helped me out, but I got lucky with McKinstry, the Skipper and McKinty. They came down and they helped me out with a few pounds to get me through the end of this camp. But all I can say is big shout out, thank you very much, lads, because they didn't have to. But without these type of people in this game, most boxers will tell you it's very, very difficult.
Was that the sponsor you were actually beating up with a body bag last night?
He wanted it, so I'll give it. Do you know what I mean? He wanted to try it out, so bit of a laugh. They're good guys. Big shout out to all my sponsors. They're all legends.
Definitely. Well, listen, thanks very much for your time. Obviously, just over 5 weeks to go until fight night. Yep. And the new.
Let's go.
Cheers, Anto. Take care.
Thank you, mate.